nor is not moved with the concord of sweet sound, is fit for stratagems and spoils. The movements of his spirit are dull as night, and his affections dark as Erebus. Let no such man be trusted. Come and wake Diana with a hymn, with sweetest touches, pierce your mistress' ear, and draw her home with music.
The 9 men's morris is filled up with mud, and the quaint mazes in the wanton green, for lack of tread, are undistinguishable.
The human mortals want their winter here.
No night is now with him or carol blessed.
Therefore the moon, the governess of floods, pale in her anger, washes all the air, that rheumatic diseases do abound.
And through this distemperature, we see the seasons alter.
Hoary-headed frosts fall on the fresh lap of the crimson rose.
And on Oldheim's thin and icy crown, an odorous chaplet of sweet summer is as if in mockery sent.
The spring, the summer, the childing autumn, angry winter, change their wonted liveries.
An amazing world, by their increase, now knows not which is which.
And this same progeny of evils comes from our debates, from our dissension.
We are their parents and original.
What manner of thing is your crocodile?
It is shaped like itself, and it is as broad as it hath breadth. It is just so high as it is, and it moves with its own organs. It lives by that which nourisheth it, and the elements, once out of it, it transmigrates.
What color is it of?
Of its own color too.
'Tis a strange serpent.
'Tis so, in the tears of it are wet.
It is the very error of the moon. She comes more near earth than she was wont, and makes men mad.
Thou nature art my goddess. To thy law my services are bound. Wherefore should I stand in the plague of custom, and prevent the curiosity of nations to deprive me? For that I am some 12 or 14 moonshines lack of a brother? Why bastard? Wherefore base? When my dimensions are as well compact, my mind is generous and my shape is true, as honest man's issue. Why brand they us with baseness, bastardy, base, who, in the lusty stealth of nature, take more composition and fierce quality than doth within a dull, stale, tired bed, go to the creating a whole tribe of bumps got between sleep and wake. Well, legitimate Edgar, I must have your land. Our father's love is to the bastard Edward. As to the legitimate, fine word, legitimate. Well, legitimate, if this letter speed in my invention thrive, Edmund the base shall talk the legitimate. I grow, I prosper. Now, gods, stand up the bastards.
Edmund! How now? Ah, what news?
So please your lordship, none.
What needed you to put up that letter?
I know no news, my lord.
What paper were you reading?
Nothing, my lord.
No, the quality of nothing, not such need to hide itself. Come, if I could be nothing, I shall not need spectacles.
I beseech you, sir, pardon me. It is a letter from my brother that I have not all over read, and for so much as I have perused, I find it not fit for your overlooking.
Give me the letter, sir.
I shall offend her that it detain or to give it.
Let's see. Let's see. This policy and reverence of age makes the world bitter to the best of our times. Keeps our fortunes from us till our oldness cannot relish them. I begin to find an idle and fond bondage in the oppression of aged tyranny, who sways not as it hath power, but as it is suffered. Come to me, of this I may speak more. If our father would sleep till I waked him, you should enjoy half his revenue forever and live the beloved of your brother Edgar. Cold conspiracy! Sleep till I waked him, you should enjoy half his revenue. Put your hand to write this stuff enough, the heart and brain to bring it in. When came this to you?
It was not brought me, my lord. There's the cunning of it. I found it thrown in at the casement of my closet.
It is his?
It is his hand, my lord, but I hope his heart is not in the contents.
Have you never any more sounded on this business?
Never, my lord, but I have heard him oft maintain it to be fit that sons at perfect age and fathers declining, the father should be as ward to the son, and the son matches revenge.
Oh, villain! Villain! His very opinion in the letter! Oh, abominable villain! Abhorred, detested, a brutish villain! Worse than brutish! Go, Sirrah, seek him out! I'll apprehend him. Where is he?
I do not well know, my lord. I dare pawn down my life for him, that he hath wrote this to feel my affection for your honor, and to no further pretense of danger.
In case so, he cannot be such a monster.
Nor is not sure.
To his father, who so tenderly and entirely loves him. Oh, Edmund, Edmund, seeking out, I pray you, refrain the business after your own wisdom.
I will seek him, sir, presently. Convey the business as I shall find means, and acquaint you with all.
These late eclipses of the sun and moon portend no good to us. Love cools, friendship falls off, brothers divide, cities mutinies, countries discord, in palaces treason, and the bond cracked twixt son and father. This villain of mine falls under the prediction. There's son against father. King falls from bias of nature. There's father against child. Oh, we have seen the best of our times. National nations, hollowness, treacheries, all ruinous disorders follow us disquiet to our graves. By now, that you'll lose thee nothing. Do it carefully.
This is the excellent folly of the world, that when we are sick in fortune, often the surfeit of our own behavior, we make guilty of our disasters, the sun, the moon, and the stars, as if we were villains by necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion, knaves, thieves, and treasures by spherical predominance, drunkards, liars, and adulterers by enforced obedience of planetary influence, and all that we are evil in by a divine thrusting on, an admirable evasion of poor master man, to lay his goatish disposition to the charge of a star. My mother compounded with my father under the dragon's tail, and my nativity was under Ursa Major, so that it follows I am rough and lecherous. But I should have been that I am, had the maidenliest star of the firmament twinkled on my bastardy.
Now, fair Hippolyta, our nuptial hour draws on apace. 4 happy days brings in another moon, but oh, methinks how slow that old moon wanes. She lingers on desire, like to a stepdame or a dowager long withering out a young man's revenge.
4 days will quickly steep themselves For nights will quickly dream away the time, and then the moon, like a silver bow new bent in heaven, shall behold the night of our solemnities.
Hippolyta, I wooed thee with my sword, and won thy love, doing thee injuries, but I will wed thee in another key, with pomp, with triumph, and with reverence.
Happy be Theseus, our renowned Duke.
Thanks, Demetrius, and what's the news with thee?
Full of vexation am I, with complaint against my child, my daughter Hermia. Stand forth, Demetrius, my noble lord. This man hath my consent to marry her. Stand forth, Lysander, and my gracious Duke. This man hath bewitched the bosom of my child. Thou, Lysander, thou hast given her rhymes and interchanged love tokens with my child. Thou hast, by moonlight, at her window, sung with fading voice verses of fading love, and stolen the impression of her fantasy with bracelets of thy hair, rings, gauze, conceits, naps, trifles, nosegays, sweet meats, messengers of strong prevailment in unhardened youth. With cunning hast thou filched my daughter's heart, turned her obedience, which is due to me, to stubborn harshness, and, my gracious Duke, be it so she will not hear before your grace consent to marry with Demetrius. I beg the ancient privilege of Athens. As she is mine, I may dispose of her, which shall either be to this gentleman or to her death. According to our law, immediately provided in that case.
What say you, Hermia? Be advised, fair maid, to you your father should be as a god. By him imprinted and within his power to lead the figure or disfigure it. Demetrius is a worthy gentleman.
So is Lysander.
And himself he is, but in this time, wanting your father's voice, the other must be held unworthy.
I would my father looked, but with my eyes.
Rather your eyes must with his judgment look.
I do entreat your grace to pardon. I know not by what power I have been bold, nor how may concern my modesty in such a presence here to plead my thoughts. But I beseech your grace that I may know the worst that may befall me in this case.
What?
If I refuse to wed Demetrius.
Either to die the death, or to endure forever the society of men. Therefore, fair Hermia, question your desires. Know of your youth, examine well your blood. Whether if you yield not to your father's choice, you can endure forever the livery of a nun, chanting hymns to a cold, fruitless moon, growing, living, dying in single blessedness.
So will I grow, so live, so die, my lord, ere I will yield my virgin path up unto his lordship, whose unwishing yoke my soul consents not to give sovereignty.
Take time to pause, and by the next new moon, the sealing day betwixt my love and me, upon that day you prepare to die for disobedience to your father's will, or else to wed Demetrius, or on Diana's altar to protest the celerity of a single life. Come, my Hippolyta.
The bay trees in our country are all withered, and meteors fright the fixed stars of heaven. The pale-faced moon looks bloody on the earth, and linked-look prophets whisper fearful change. Rich men look sad, and ruffians dance and leap, the one in fear to lose what they enjoy, the other to enjoy by rage and war. These signs forerun the fall of kings. Thou know, 'tis common, all that lives must die, passing from nature to eternity. Not from the stars do I my judgment pluck, and yet methinks I have astronomy, but not to tell of good or evil luck, of plagues, of dearths, or seasons quality, nor can I fortune 2 brief minutes tell, pointing to each his thunder, wind, or rain, or say with princes if it shall go well. God, that one might read the book of fate and see the revolution of the times make mountains level and the continent weary of solid firmness melt itself into the sea.
A sonnet duet.
Or a lover's quarrel. No more be grieved at that which thou hast done. Roses have thorns, and silver fountains mud. Clouds and eclipses stain both moon and sun, and golden canker lives in sweetest bud.
Why didst thou promise such a beauteous day, and make me travel forth without my cloak, to let base clouds o'ertake me in thy way, hiding thy bravery in their rotten smoke?
All men have faults, and even I in this, authorizing thy trespass with compare, myself corrupting, salving thy amiss, excusing thy sins more than thy sins are.
'Tis not enough that through the cloud thou break, to dry the rain on my storm-beaten face. For no man well with such a psalm can speak, that heals the wound and cures not the disgrace.
to thy sensual faults, I bring in sense.
Nor can thy shame give physic to my grief. Though thou repent, yet I have still the loss.
Thy adverse party is thy advocate, and against thyself a lawful plea commence.
The tender sorrow lends but weak relief to him that bears the strong offense's cross.
Such civil war is in thy love and hate, that I, an accessory needs must be to that sweet thief that sourly robs from me.
Ah, but those tears of pearl which thy love sheds, and they are rich, and ransom all ill deeds.
Now, my co-mates and brothers in exile,
Clouds and eclipses stain both moon and sun, and loathsome canker lives in sweetest blood.
now, my co-mates and brothers in exile, has not old custom made this life more sweet than that of ancient palm? Are not these woods more free from peril than the envious cord? Here feel we but the penalty of Adam, the season's difference, and the icy fan and churlish chiding of the winter's wind, which when it bites and blows upon my body, even till I shrink with cold, I smile and say, this is no flattery. These are counselors that feelingly persuade me what I am. Sweet are the uses of adversity, which, like the toad, ugly and venomous, wears yet a precious jewel in his head. And this our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. I would not change it.
Yet cease your ire, you angry stars of heaven. Wind, rain, and thunder, remember, earthly man is but a substance that must yield to you. And I, as fits my nature, do obey you. Alas, the sea hath cast me on the rocks, washed me from shore to shore, and left my breath, with nothing to think on but ensuing death. Let it suffice, the greatness of your powers, to have bereft the prince of all his fortunes, and having thrown him from your watery grave, here, to have death in peace, is all you'll crave.
What ho, Hills! Come and bring away the nets. What cracked breach, I say?
What say you, master?
Oh, look how thou stirrest now. Come away, or I'll fetch thee with a onion.
Thank master. I'm thinking of the poor men that were cast away before us even now.
Alas, poor souls, it grieved my heart to hear what pitiful cries they made to us to help them, when well a day we could scarce help ourselves.
Then, master, said I not so much when I saw the porpoise how he bounced and tumbled? They say he's half fish, half flesh. A plague upon him. They ne'er come, but I love to be washed. Master, I marvel how the fishes live in the sea.
Why, as men do on land, the great ones eat up the little ones. Now, I can compare our rich misers to nothing so fitly as to a whale. He plays and tumbles, driving the poor fry before him. Then, at last, he devours them all in a mouthful. Such whales I have heard of on the land, who never leave gaping until they've swallowed the whole parish, church, steeple, bells, and all.
But master, I had been a sexton, I would have been that day in the belfry.
Why, man?
Because he should have swallowed me too. And when I had been in his belly, I would have kept up such a jam and noise of the bells, that he should have never left till he cast out bells, steeple, church, and parish up again.
How, from the finny subject of the sea, these fishers tell the infirmities of men, and from their watery empire recollect all that may men approve or them detect. Peace be at your labor, honest fishermen.
Honest? Good fellow, what's that?
You may see the sea have cast me on your coast.
What a drunken knave of you seem to cast it in our way.
A man who, both the waters and the wind, in that vast tennis court, have made the ball for them to play upon. Entreats you pity him. He asks of you that never used to beg.
No, friend, cannot you beg? Here's them in our country of Greece. It's more with begging than we can do with working.
Can't thou catch any fishes then?
I never practiced
Oh,
it.
then thou wilt starve, sure. For here's nothing to be got nowadays unless thou canst fish for it.
What I have been, I have forgot to know. But what I am, want teaches me to think on. A man thronged up with cold, my veins are chill, and have no more of life than may suffice to give my tongue that heat to ask your help, which, if you shall refuse, when I am dead, for that I am a man, pray see me buried.
God will find it, and God's forbid it. I have a gown here. Come, put it on. Keep thee warm. Thou shalt go home.
And we shall have flesh on holidays, fish on fasting days, and more puddings and flood packs. And thou shalt be welcome.
I thank you, sirs.
soft, when lightly yonder window breaks. It is the east in Juliet, it is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou her maid art far more fair than she. It is my lady! Oh, it is my love! Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses, I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were ever love upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Romeo.
She speaks! Oh, speak again, bright angel!
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Or, if thou wilt not, swear by thy gracious self, which is that's in a name. That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for that name, which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me with love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth, I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou that thus be screened in night, so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name, I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear seed, is hateful to myself, because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of that tongue's utterance, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and not again?
Neither, fair saint, either of thee dislike.
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place dead, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find me here.
Thy kinsmen are no lend to me.
I would not for the world they saw thee here.
I have next hope to hide me from their sight. And but thou love me, let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than death delayed wanting of thy love.
Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would have made him blush to paint my cheek. For that which thou hast heard me speak tonight, fain would I dwell on floor, fain deny what I have spoke, but farewell compliment. If thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. I'll prove more true than those that are more cunning to be strange.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I
Oh,
swear.
swear not by moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circle orb. Lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all. Or, if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the God of my idolatry, and I'll believe you.
If my heart's dear love.
Do not swear. Although I join me, I have no joy of this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning which don't cease to be, ere one can say, it lightens. Good night, good night.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it, and yet I wish for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea, my love as deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite.
Oh, blessed night! I am afeard. Being a knight, all this is but a dream. Too flattering, sweet to peace of
substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy vengeance love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow, and by one that I'll procure to come to thee, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and I'll follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
My dear, at what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
At the hour of 9, I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till 11. Good night, good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep in peace, so sweet to rest.
Now the hungry lion roars, and the wolf, he howls the moon.
Whilst the heavy plowman snores, all with weary task fordone.
Now the wasted brands do glow, whilst the screech owl screeching loud.
Puts the wretch that lies in woe in remembrance of a shroud.
Now it is the time of night that the graves all gaping wide.
Everyone lets forth his sprite in the churchway paths to glide.
And we fairies that do run by the triple hecate's team.
From the presence of the sun, following darkness like a dream.
Now our frolic, not a mouse, shall disturb this hallowed house.
I am sent with broom before to sweep the dust behind the door.
If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here while these visions did appear. And this weak and idle theme, no more yielding but a dream. Gentles, do not reprehend. If you pardon, we will mend. And as I am an honest puck, if we have unearned luck, now to escape the serpent's tongue. We will make amends ere long, else the puck I call. So, good night unto you all. Give me your hand.